Welcome and greetings, career-minded superstars. You are listening to the exclusive Career Coach, your podcast for all things career. And I'm Lisa Edwards, the indispensable career coach for superstars just like you. Now let's dig into this week's topic, shall we? Go from dragging yourself to work each day to finding a job you love. The Career Spring program is for high-achieving and ambitious mid-level professionals like you who are looking for a job that uses your zone of genius, recognizes your value, and pays you what you're worth. If you're ready to learn more, schedule a complimentary consult using the link to my calendar in the show notes. Be sure to follow me on Exclusive Career Coaching on Facebook, Lisa Edwards on LinkedIn, and Lisa.Edwards on Instagram.
Greetings. How are you? Fabulous, high-achieving professionals out there. Are you killing it? Are you back in the saddle after some summer vacay? Do you have kids that you got back in school and your life is getting back to normal and you're thinking about pumpkins and football? That's what I'm thinking about. It's all about football for me. I want to talk today about the use of AI in creating your resumes, because there's so much in the news about AI and, replacing jobs. And in the resume writing world, all we're talking about is how people have this widespread belief that is absolutely incorrect, that you can create your resume just like let AI do it. Let AI create your resume for you. And I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about the role that AI should play in your resume and how I use it in resume writing. So first of all, when I'm working with some of my clients on their job description, I may use AI to get a good job description. Now, for example, I have a client right now who's a dental assistant and she wants to do a career pivot. So even though she doesn't want to be a dental assistant, I wanted some of those dental technical words in her job description. And by the way, the job description is like a 2 to 3 line paragraph that after the, name of the company and the job title and all of that, that's going to go there. And then I'm going to have bulleted achievements. The job description should never be bulleted. So I'm writing this 2 to 3 lines and I just want to kind of see what ChatGPT says. So I asked ChatGPT, what is a job description for a dental assistant? What does a dental assistant do? I put something like that in there. I did not cut and paste any part of that response. I merely used it as a reference for the skills that a dental assistant should be able to perform. If I have a client who is using the resume to apply for a specific position, I can feed both the job description and the resume into ChatGPT to see how they compare and to tell me where the gaps are. And then I can work on including the keywords that are missing into the resume. And if a client wants to pivot careers, I can ask ChatGPT for a job description for the new job the client wants to have. So then I can look at, okay, what are the transferable skills that this client has developed in their existing career, and how can I present those for the career they want to go into? I think what's so important to talk about here, and I'm going to talk about it a little more in a moment, is that if you ask ChatGPT or any of the AI tools to write your resume for you, all it's going to do is give you something very generic because it's going out into the world to get that information. Now, I want you to think about that. Your resume should be a highly personalized marketing document that talks about I call them differentiators, your value proposition, your brand, what makes you different, and what achievements you've made in your career that support that brand. That's not out in the universe. That's not out for AI to find because it's in you. And so unless that's already on your resume, and I've looked at, good Lord, 10,000 resumes in my career, probably way more than that. And I can count on a few hands how many resumes came with really good achievements and really differentiating, well-articulated branding. So if it's not already there, ChatGPT can't find it because ChatGPT doesn't go inside your head to find that information. And that's the main message that I want to give you. I am planning to do some workshops around this and some additional training. So I wanted to kind of just give you a heads up on this. So let's talk about the DIY and the DFY today. So DIY, let's just say you're going to give a go with ChatGPT. You're going to try to create your own resume. The main thing I want you to remember is that AI is a tool, just like any other tool. You don't go buy a great hammer at the store and then just leave it on the floor in your house and expect it to do all the work. You use that tool. And this is exactly what ChatGPT or any other AI tool is. And keep in mind what I said. It is going to be generic. If it's written by ChatGPT, it's going to take the job description. It's going to take what you already have for a resume, and it's going to give you something very non-differentiating. And I'm already hearing from HR people about how they can spot a mile away a ChatGPT generated resume because of how generic it is. So let AI help you craft your job descriptions, but not do it for you. If you want to use AI to help create your job achievement bullets, then write out Carl language. And I've talked about this in other episodes, challenge, action, result, lessons learned. And then ask ChatGPT to write a bullet for that. And then work with that bullet. Don't put that bullet in there as it is. It needs to start with an action verb. You want to remove pronouns. You want to remove articles like the that are unnecessary. And it needs to be high impact and hard hitting. It needs to begin with the sort of end in mind, right? So rather than saying, I did which saved the company 85%, it should say generated 85% savings by blah, 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 blah. So also do the work on your branding. AI cannot do that for you. I recommend that you pick up my branded resume course, which you can get on my website, exclusivecareercoaching.com. Click on the free resources button and let that help you with the branding piece of your resume. And then ask ChatGPT to write out 3 or 4 sentences that encapsulate what you've come up with for your brand and play with that. So again, let ChatGPT be a tool. It is likely going to help you if you're going to do it on your own to create a better resume than you could on your own, but don't let it do it for you or you're going to go in the wrong direction. Now, DFY, done for you. Here's one of the litmus tests that I use with my clients. So when I'm talking to someone, I'm asking them sometimes, how high is the bar for you with the job you want? If it's pretty high, so let's say I've got a client who is going for the next level up. It's an external search. They're going to go apply at a new company. It's a very competitive job and they know it. Then they probably want to think about working with a professional like me. It's worth the money. It's worth the investment. One of the primary benefits you get from working with me is my ability to pull out those high impact achievement to help you think about yourself in a way that you've probably never thought about yourself. And then those differentiators. We like to say it's very difficult to read the label of the bottle you're in. I saw recently someone said it's hard to see the picture when you're the frame or something like that. I thought that was another way of saying it. So it can be very difficult to look at yourself objectively and get that perspective on what really makes you different. And then I also, of course, couple that with the ability to package that information in a very compelling way that drives a reader. Because, of course, the purpose of a resume is we want them to reach out to you for an interview. And so my goal with resumes that I write is I want them to be visually impactful. So as soon as the human sees this resume and AI, the applicant tracking system has passed it through, the human sees it and like, oh, this one looks really great. And then as they start to read, they're even more impressed. I've seen plenty of resumes come to me that visually look great, but then I start reading and I'm like, oh, wah, wah, wah. So I want them to be even more impressed when they start to read the content. There's something to be said about having that expert perspective and helping you to come up with what are my zones of genius, what really differentiates me from my competition. And based on the job market, my industry, my job function, how do we package that in the most compelling way? So if you would like to talk to me about how I can help you write your resume, as well as your LinkedIn profile and cover letter and all of that, you can click on the link in the show notes, or you can always go to my website, exclusivecareercoaching.com, and use the chatbot to reach out to me for an appointment. So I hope that helps you to understand a little bit more about AI and how it's being used in the resume writing world and incorrectly. And I will see you next week. Take care.
You've been listening to The Exclusive Career Coach with Lisa Edwards, CEO of Exclusive Career Coaching. It would be great if you would rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Also, I want to be your career coach, so be sure to ask questions about your career management challenges and job search situation. Until next time.